episode of this season's Butchering Bake Off, which is crazy. I can't believe it. So I'm going to take you with me today because I'm so excited. Are you okay down there? Now you get to see what I see from my height all the time. I am sorry that you're all down there, but I'm too lazy to go and get the stand. Anyway, you're not here to talk about makeup. You're probably here to talk about baking because for some reason I started this series 10 weeks ago and it blew the f up, more so than the makeup ever did, which was a means to an end. You know, I was doing my makeup for my wedding and it's now meant that I have makeup skills for life, which is great. I love that for me. But the baking thing, I got to actually be myself a lot of the time instead of trying to be who I thought you wanted me to be. Anyway, it's been the most wild 10 weeks of my life as a content creator. I've tried really hard for 5 years to try and find something that worked for me and for you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I never thought it was gonna be baking. I thought it was gonna be the makeup. Let me think actually. I just never thought that it would be me baking that would be the thing that people couldn't get enough of. But I love that it is. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I've given myself 6 months to do this full time. 6 months is not a long time in the grand scheme of life. That is how long I've given myself to essentially make this work. I've always done content creation in some way, shape or form, but I didn't think that it would be the thing that I would end up doing full time. That means for me is being completely transparent, finding ways to make this my full-time job and not feel burnt out. I'm not gonna lie, I am working a full-time job and a part-time job, but I haven't had a day off in 10 weeks and I'm definitely feeling the I'm definitely feeling it. My little ADHD autistic brain is about to burn out and I don't want to burn out because it means that something has to stop and it can't be my full-time job, which means it has to be content and I just don't want that to happen. And because I am so close to the burnout, I'm trying to find ways to minimize that. And a lot of my friends and family have said, oh, you know what, after the final episode of Butchering Bake Off, take a break. I don't want to though, because this brings me so much joy and so much happiness. I have 6 months to make it. And if I don't, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. Things are definitely happening outside of like my corporate job. I've set up a company that's a creative studio with a friend of mine. I didn't think I would be in this position of even contemplating leaving my full-time job to make content my full-time job. I toyed with the idea earlier this year. I did want to make it happen, and then I fell really out of love with not makeup. I love makeup and I love skincare, that will never change. But I fell out of love with the consumerism element of it, and I felt like I was just trying to push capitalism. And I didn't like that. I want it to be really wholesome, and it's really hard to do when I was literally in Boots every other day picking up a new release, and it just felt really unsustainable. And I was very conscious about who I was working with the brands that I was working with. I would never worked with anyone whose products I didn't actually use or didn't actually like. What a wild time. Crazy. This channel, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know whether you guys want to see like this, the behind the scenes stuff, the sort of life, what I do outside of Butchering Bake Off and all that stuff, or whether you just want long form Butchering Bake Offs, which I don't know how I'm gonna do because you have to be filmed in a completely different angle. It's my birthday in like 5 days, 6 days, and I feel like now's the perfect time as I go into the next year of life. 33 is a really big one for me. Really, really big one for me. I might do a whole other video about that. I want this to be the year that changes my life, and this will be the year that changes my life. 32, I said, was going to be one of the best years of my life. 33 is going to be the best year of my life. I'm really glad that you're here. Let's go and butcher some madeleines. Yeah! Okay, so this is the madeleine tray. It looks horrendous. Like, it genuinely looks terrible, but that's fine. It's fine. I have a thing for the Christmas sandwiches. This is a Tesco's honey glazed ham, bread Leicester, festive chutney. I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. The bread was delicious, but there's just not enough filling. And no, I don't eat my crust. I'm in the mood to make a whole bunch of jams today, which I think is what I'm gonna do. And I think I'm gonna do fig jam. That's atrocious. I still cannot believe this cost. I mean, I can believe that it costs this much because I'm buying this all the time. Like, I'm buying stuff all the time. But I'm so hyper aware right now of how expensive it is and how unsustainable this is for me. Like, this box of eggs, this was £4. Now, I know I sound sad being like, oh, eggs are so expensive, but I don't earn enough money to be able to keep this up. But what I am going to do though is I'm going to make a fuck ton of jam this weekend, and I'm just lamenting over the fact that this all cost me £45.
That's quite expensive.
It is quite expensive, thank you. My hips are really sore every time I do butcher and bake off. I think it's because I'm on my feet for so long. It hurts so much, I get into so much pain, and it's really bad. The first thing we need to do is we need to put away all of the stuff from butcher and bake off. Oh, let's do it. I was saying this earlier, that it's crazy how much I've actually learned in the 10 weeks. It feels like I've been on a really intensive baking course, learning things that I probably would never have chosen to learn myself, and because of doing that, it's given me so much experience. More experience than I ever thought I possibly would have, just learning how to bake myself. One of my favourite things to make at the moment is jam. It was the first thing that I ever kind of made that was new. Really, like, that was the best thing I've made in this entire experience. It's the thing that brings me the most joy when I think about it. Oh, that's a spider. Just go outside. Oh my god. I feel deeply disturbed. The kitchen is cleaned. Now we must prepare for the jam. I actually think the best option for me right now is to make this in the exact same way that I make the raspberry jam, because that's all I really know how to do. Jam pan, weigh. I'm gonna weigh the figs very quickly. 140 grams. Okay, and then we've got, what, 300 grams of blackberries. 300 grams of sugar? Yeah. That'll work. Something's going on. You know what that means.
You know what that means.
You know what that means. It's jam time! How do I look in David Atherton's apron? I always forget what figs actually look like. And then I see them and I feel quite horrified. I think I'm just gonna boil them with the blackberries. Maybe I should cut them up a little bit more. What could possibly go wrong? This is a little bit of a wash. Baking unrushed. Who am I? This is also really, like, I don't hate this particular sugar, but I don't exactly like it either. It has this really weird consistency. That's a lot. I don't really like it. And then when I was making my TV cake, which I'll do a whole YouTube story about that cake, I'm just gonna smush everything together. James and I were watching this video the other night, and we were looking at how vanilla is harvested, and it's absolutely incredible. Like, it's so fascinating. Also why it's so expensive. When I've made jam before, I've just stuck it in like a bowl and put it in the fridge and used it like within a week, which I think is fine. Someone told me it's fine. I find it so exhausting, like the day of a butchering bake off, because obviously heart condition, not ideal. But just get really exhausted really quickly. Very intense, like it is a very intense hobby. You and you. Let's boil these guys. Smells so good. Right, This is how we're doing. Again, this all feels like it's going to be really hard until I actually do it, and then I'm like, oh, that's not that bad. I think the thing is, like, my ADHD brain tells me that it's going to be really difficult, and I feel really out of control because I've never done these things before. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, is that it? Okay. I'll come back because this is loud. It's actually sticking on the back of the spoon. So technically, oh no, it's so good. Technically that's done. Well, so right. Well, that's not good, is it? That is burnt. That is burnt rubber. Is one going to use those? One cannot. So that's a problem. How am I gonna seal these jam jars? Not good. So we have sterilized jars. Okay. Let's turn you upside down. Let's turn you upside down. But now we have no lids for the jars. I have to wing it. Okay. So now they're filled. Can I go that way? That actually works. That's really surprising. They're wrong, but it has somehow worked. Still wrong. Quite seedy. Contemplating whether I should have sieved it. I don't think I really need it. You're okay. In here, because I'm not storing it for months on end, so it could probably just go in a bowl, to be fair, and then go in the fridge. Why don't we just do that? That feels like it's going to be easier, doesn't it? I might sieve it, Una. I'm not sure how I feel about all of the bits and pips. In fact, I do know how I feel about it, and I don't feel good. I've never been a seedy kind of gal. She's getting sieved. Into the thick of it. It's a waste of time, really, the sterilisation. I do say so myself. Did I really need to do it? No, I did not. I'm gonna be gone in less than 2 weeks. Interestingly, I think I'm still allergic to figs whether or not I cook it. My tongue is very itchy. That's disappointing, to say the least. Hands hurt, to be honest. Let's put them in teeny tiny ramekins. 1 and 2. I have 26 minutes until dinner. The question is, can I make a caramel in that time? I've already made jam, so how hard can it be? What did I do the caramel for? What week was it? Oh, the hobnobs. It was week 2. Fine, one. One thing I am going to do though is I'm going to do it in a pan, because I was doing it in a frying pan. I was doing it in a saucepan, and I had a lot of people message me saying, don't do it in a saucepan, do it in a frying pan. This one is losing its non-stick, I believe. I'm going to do a caramel in 20 something minutes. Measure everything out first, because this is not butchering bake off. This is calm. This is relaxed. This is, I can take my time. Are you okay, such kind, gentle sir? Oh, such kind, gentle sir. You're such kind gentle sir, aren't you? Okay, so then let's stick that on and do 5.5. Okay. 100 grams. So, because it's a dry caramel, I believe I can stir it. Not that I want to, but I can do if I need to. 101, that's fine. Angel share. Let's sit out on the side for a little bit so that it's kind of warm. It smells ready. Oh no! That's so annoying. It's like the tiniest hint of like smokiness.
Yeah, it's a little bit bitter, yeah. Right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's so annoying. I'm gonna try the caramel again. I should rest, but I can't. I actually just can't rest, so must execute once more. Can't believe that burn. It's really upsetting. For what reason? I should just rest, but apparently I don't know what that means. I'm just so gutted about this. But we'll try with salted butter, because I personally prefer it with salted butter anyway. I definitely found that doing it in a saucepan was better than doing it in a, frying pan was better than a saucepan, and a whisk. Maybe I shouldn't have my face right there. Let me know if you want a video of fun facts about me, because fun fact, I am a classically trained opera singer. Classically trained opera singer rather than, you know, an unclassically trained opera singer. What is going on in the House of Commons? What is happening here? That doesn't feel good at all. I'm gonna add the butter. Bring it back on. Turn it down a little bit. Adding a little bit at a time. I think that is once again burnt. A little bit burnt. Definitely better with the salted butter though. I think I just caught that. I just caught it. I reckon that's there. It's just a touch, like the tiniest bit off. Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly off. Have I got it in me? I'm tired. I could just sit on the sofa and edit. Let's go one more. I'm gonna go one more. Before, when I was doing this, it was literally forming like a hard clump of butter and sugar, and it was horrible. I'm gonna put Mr. Boy on a plate. Mr. Boy, Mr. Boy, this is you on a plate. This is you, my sweet butt. Okay, that's steaming. We're steaming. Why? Yep. That's what you get for not paying attention. What was I doing? I was watching Kiri's everything she ate on her birthday. That's gone. Maybe I should just call it a night. It's 7:30. I could just relax. I could just relax. Am I going to? Most likely no. Right. 4th time's a charm, technically. It's okay, Bubba. Scared Mama too. Scared Mama too. You're fine. That's okay, baby. That's okay, baby. You're okay, my babies. You're okay, my babies. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's just come down. Okay. Don't hurt yourself. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. I know, Bubba. But Mama has just put the sugar back on.
the crystallization of this, to be honest. Though you're not a stranger, Madeline.
I just need to add some salt in.
I think this one's the winner.